If Ron Paul gets elected and people like him get elected with him, that could change everything.
And by the way, the engine of the incredible free market is so powerful that we could turn this bad economy around so fast. The globalists admit they spend all their time trying to screw up the economy, Bob.
And that's true. And if you noticed, all the saving things that have been done to the financial sector and to governments who spend more money than they should.
Yes.
The conditions that we see today are things that they have created.
Yes.
And they think it's time to move. And God help America if Ron Paul is not elected, because they're going to go into high gear.
They are going into high gear. Dwayne, a Marine in Texas, final caller. Sorry to the others. Back Sunday. Dwayne, you take us out.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Alex. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know, you just asked the other gentleman that was on just a second ago, you know, is that the same exact military that he joined, you know, was basically to be the sword, you know, to rip up the Constitution. Yeah, that's what we joined. But of course, then probably, you know, a lot of us were blind, but now we're not. You know, and you know, those are just things that we know who's behind all of this. You know, ultimately, you know, it's Illuminati. It's all kinds of, you know, like you say, the banksters. You know, but my thing is I have actual on the ground research. Go ahead. I have actual on the ground from Northrop Grumman, a lady who had actually spoken to me, telling me that they are trying to now pull, actually do exercises that actually pull families from their home.
Tell you what, stay there. We got to go into super overdrive. Stay there. We're coming back. I am a testament. You are a testament. We stand witness to the destruction of the republic, to who did it. We warned the people beforehand. We had the globalist blueprint. And now we're getting deeper down the road. But as bad as things look now, this is nothing. This is nothing. It's like telling somebody, keep driving down that road, and there are 50 miles, you're going to come to a forest. And now you can finally see the forest off in the distance. Well, we're telling you, keep going down that road, you're going to come to tyranny. And now people can see the first levels of tyranny. But it gets a lot deeper and a lot worse. And I've been to so many urban warfare drills. I've made films. It's on tape, Police Day 2000 and others, where it shows the military trying to take our guns. Now, that was in certain small cadres. Now it's expanding across the entire military. I had guys, this is like 10 years ago, show me footage. They came to the TV station. They were at a military base, an Army base. Most of them are Air Force, in San Antonio, but it was Marines at a base, at an Army base, training to mow down people with signs saying, don't take our land, land rights, you know, patriot type folks. You'd call them Tea Party today. And I said, please let me show this. And they said, nope, we're doing a roof job and we'll end up losing our contracts, but I wanted you to see this. And I'm like, thanks a lot for showing it to me. But, I mean, I got a lot of stuff like that myself. It's just that now they admit we'll arrest citizens for any reason. And they've got plans and grids and markings and GPS at your door to come knock and say, come with us, and put you on an Army truck. Now, I want to tell folks from the Army trucks, you may think you've got America buffaloed, the commanders, the globalists, the controllers, and they'll give you some cover story for a while this is going to happen. They could use a bio attack, domestic terror, any of it, or both. But it isn't cowardice that's been people holding back. It's just a hope that we can fix things peacefully. A lot of people don't care about dying. Okay, a lot of people know the secret of life, that it's like 5 minutes long. Okay, and they're tired of it. And people aren't just going to sit in their houses and wait for the SWAT teams and the police to come at 3 a.m. once this thing kicks off. I mean, I'm sure you understand that. And no amount of gadgets and tracking and kill switches is going to protect you. Okay? We don't want to go here. I don't want a civil war. The globalists do. They don't care if police and military get killed. Now, I went into extra overdrive into the 4th hour. Bob Chapman's going to give us a comment. I'll take a few more calls like Dusty and others. But Dwayne, a Marine in Texas, called and said he talked to a woman who works, I think he said, Northrop Grumman, who does a lot of the defense contracting and managing. That's right up there at the top of the pyramid in defense contracting, about plans to go jerk whole families out. Well, that's actually in the Emergency Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. It's in the Emergency Centers Establishment Act, which that bill is so important because it's a blueprint for what's already built. And they admit that. They just want to get additional funding and kind of have it go public. Kind of like they got rid of posse comitatus, militarized the police a long time ago. Now they're just officially doing it and saying, by the way, we'll throw you in a dungeon and nobody will know where you went. So as Stuart Rhodes said, and I started getting tears in his eyes the other night. I never seen him do that. This is like DEFCON 4 going to DEFCON 5. And there's a certain point where all you phony tough guys that work for the system who really buy all this propaganda, because I've seen their training videos. I've seen like it's something out of a body snatcher movie where the cops are all being told George Washington's bad. And they're all nodding their heads and gasping at the name of Thomas Jefferson. I mean, it's like they're North Korean generals or something. I mean, they're so whacked out. I don't know how they got to this point. I mean, as a normal American watching this, it's like, what? I mean, you cannot believe it. You've seen The Road to Tyranny, folks. I mean, you cannot believe when they pull a woman over, they stop her at a checkpoint in a rural road, and they say, we want to search your car, and Abby Newman, no criminal record, and Able Veterans is no. They jerk her out, say we're going to charge her with assault. She doesn't assault them. They get a pocket constitution and start hyperventilating. The idiots had sworn an oath to the document. Now they're acting like it's Satan was in the back of the car. I mean, they are, I mean, I don't believe normal brainwashing could even do that. I mean, I'm sorry. Dwayne, finish your story because the music was cutting over you. Start over. Tell us about who you talked to about the plans to round up families. I mean, it's all admitted now. It's just, it's good to hear some of the details. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, you know, Alex, the funny thing about it was it's been almost, I would go as far as to say about 2 months ago. I used to work for a company who provided a certain service, and of course, Northrop Grumman is one of the major military-industrial complexes that receives a stipend or what do you call it, a discount on their monthly service, and of course, her and I began to talk, and she said that she was working out at Fort Polk, right, probably 50 miles away from where I'm located. And I asked her, I said, you know, have you heard anything about, you know, anything that's on the ground as far as, you know, citizen dissent, you know, are they training for any of that or anything? She kind of pulled me over to the side and she said, you know, normally I would have never talked about this with you, you know, and sure enough, you know, she stated that they are actually right now, as we are speaking right now, very much in the middle of that. Anything from crowd control, obviously, to the extraction of families from their very home and the property in which they live in.
Yeah, that's Fort Polk, Louisiana, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, no, we have the cooperative nugget videos of them training with foreign troops, with role players saying, I'm an American, as U.S. and foreign troops kill us. And, yes. And if you don't believe me, I have the Boy Scouts in the New York Times training to kill veterans. I mean, they actually train the Boy Scouts and Explorer Scout to kill the veterans.
Yeah, I mean, as widespread as this, you know, it almost sounds like a nightmarish fairy tale, you know, but what people don't understand is it's actually happening. Like I said, there even a neighbor of mine who lives, you know, right across the street from me. You know, he proclaims the same exact thing, and he just got out of the Army. As a matter of fact, you know, he states the same exact thing. You know, that they are actually practicing those things and going into great detail with it. That's the scary part. You know, they're trying to learn every asset, or basically.
They're training everyone, the mechanics. No, I've confirmed it. Listen, they admit it. It's just they always say, we want the Army to help fight al-Qaeda, but we're going to have checkpoints and crowd control, and the entire architecture is built for the average American. Then you get the manuals, and it's us. If you're actually a real American, you are the enemy, because this is a foreign corporate takeover of the country, and they hate freedom, and it's real, and it's horrible, and they're going to do it, and we've got to get ready. That's why I'm desperately hear people say, how is this guy working 18 hours a day? Because once they shut us down and we go dark, folks, it's up to you. I mean, you've got to know they're not going to give you quarter. They're not going to stop. And once we go down over the edge, it just gets worse and worse. God bless you, Dwayne. I got to go. I got a meeting I got to go to, Bob Chapman. We're going out of break here in 3.5 minutes, and I've got to go do this interview right now, Bob. InfoWars Nightly News tonight's going to be particularly power-packed at Prisonplanet.tv. But I'm going to give you the last 3-4 minutes taking us out to break, and then I'll see everybody back live Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. But, Bob, I'm going to let you co-host and take us out here with the final word, theinternationalforecaster.com, Bob Chapman.
Well, I think we all have to discern whether we want to defend ourselves and our families and our heritage, whether we want to allow what was built by our forebears to get out in the sewer. And it's up to us to act and do the things that are needed. And information is at the heart of that. We have that today, and we've had it for the last 20 years. We didn't have it before then. And so we've got to use it. So you've got to use Alex's DVDs and distribute them to people, tell people to listen to the program and other programs that are similar, where they can get a handle on what's going on out there. I usually deeply deal with financial and economic matters throughout the world, but as you've seen, I'm pretty conversant in other things as well. And these are the things that you have to do. Information to other people, preparing your own family with dehydrated and freeze-dried food, a water filter, being able to defend your family. And then if you have more money, getting involved in gold and silver related assets, because it's the only safe place to be. And you've got to, and it's so important, even if your family doesn't believe you or agree with you, and they are the hardest people to convince, believe me, and even your close friends. All of a sudden, they'll wake up one day, like we heard today with the Marine that was on the program. Nostradamus, you had that all figured out. And then he becomes the leader because he understands what the problems are. And so you have to get into that position. You have to tell people about these things, and then all of a sudden they say, gee, Joe or Mary said that, and they were right. And then they start listening. And so you keep after people. You continue to bring the message forward. And that's why I do these programs. I do lots of them. And some of them I've done for a long time. I've been off and on with Alex for many years. And I have a soft place in my heart for the active and retired military people because I'm a veteran myself. And that's why I do the Marine Disquisition every Thursday, which is a top-rated program on Blog Talk. And so we've got to do our job, each and every one of us. You may not think it's important, but it is. Just one person learns from you what they're supposed to do, what they should expect, and you've accomplished everything.